Hi, this is a review of an amp rebuild done by Hi-TechAudio. Um, I was in need of a high power amplifier, and since I couldn't afford like a Macintosh or Parasound or something like that, I was able to pick up this Carver TFM35. I found this on locally on Craigslist, and I bought this used from a guy for $300. It's a really fine amp, but as it's 20 years old, I felt that it would really sound much better and last longer with a rebuild. So I sent this amp into a place called Hi-TechAudio in Gresham, Oregon. And these guys are the experts at repairing and rebuilding Carver equipment. They've been doing it for many years. And what they will do is if you send your equipment into them, like say you send your amp into them, they will rebuild it. They will replace all the resistors, capacitors, power supply, anything that deteriorates with age, they will replace on the unit for a fee of $299, what it was for this one. And basically when you get the amp back, it's just like having a new amplifier again. I mean, sure, it still has the scratches and nicks and stuff like that if you have those on it. But as far as sound-wise, it probably sounds at least as good and probably better than it did when it was new, because I'm sure the parts they're putting in are probably upgrades over what was on it when it was new. The flat rate for rebuilding it was $299. And I also paid an additional $45 to have blue LED lights put in on the power meters. The standard light bulbs, after a while, will burn out. So I had these blue LEDs put in, and these will probably just last practically forever. They last a really long time, and they also look cool. I believe these may be available in other colors too. I didn't really ask, but since they rebuilt another amp for me 4 years ago and they put in blue LEDs in that one, they had the same color, so they put these in to match my other amp. I have to say that after getting the amp back, it sounds fantastic. Very clean, clear sound, crisp highs and mid-range, good bass. It's just a really great sounding amp now. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a better sounding amp than this bought new for like say under $800 to $1,000. One thing I would like to add is the only disadvantage of having this done is the turnaround time is kind of long. It took about, I think it was around 8 or 9 weeks before I got this back. So, you know, it does take them a little while to do this work. But once you get it back, though, you got yourself a really nice amp again. And what's nice about this amp is that it's 250 watts per channel, but it's also very light compared to other amps today of this power range. It only weighs about 28 pounds. So you're not busting your nuts when you have to move it around, or if you have to ship it, it doesn't cost you a fortune either. So I really recommend this amp rebuild at Hi-TechAudio. I think it's a very cost-effective way to rejuvenate an amp rather than buying, paying thousands of dollars today for an amp, which probably doesn't sound any better than this one. So if you have an old Carver amp or any Carver equipment and you want it repaired or rebuilt, I recommend Hi-TechAudio in Gresham, Oregon. To find them, just do a Google search for Hi-TechAudio, and they'll come up. And then on their website, they explain the equipment that they work on and what they do, and their prices and things like this. They also have an email address at carveraudiorepair@gmail.com, and their website is carveraudiorepair.com. So if you have some Carver equipment you want repaired or rebuilt, I would check these guys out. I think they do a really good job. If you have any questions about this amp or Carver Audio repairs rebuild of it, feel free to ask it, and I'll do what I can to answer it for you. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and Thanks for watching my review of Carver Audio Repair.